Update number 3, we filed a lawsuit against our neighbors. If you missed the last part, it's up here on the screen. I forget what side, but it's there.
I spy with my little eye a flower bed going underwater. Who would have thought? And now that I see the petition for the no wake zone, it makes my thought process think a little differently on the flower bed. Next, she'll be trying to say that our wake caused damage to her garden that she put right next to the boat launch.
Oh my gosh.
So that even a ripple going in that direction would go through that flower bed. I'm starting to think that she thinks that we're dumb, that we can't see the tactics she's trying to pull. Because let's just say that none of these things that I'm predicting that she's trying to do with this flower bed is true. Who puts a flower bed in the way of where water is going to sit for multiple days at a time with mulch and a border? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever unless there was some type of ill intent. That's the only thing I can think. Just like the poles with the wire running across the river.
Raise your hand if you think that that was intentional or not. I don't want to point fingers and say that no, they just wanted to have a little flower garden there. But I think there is a plan to the madness. Only because that's what we've seen so far. Only because that's what we've seen so far.
You know the cool thing about having friends is that whenever they see something they think that you need to see, they call you and like, hey, you need to check this out right now. And I think you guys need to check this out.
We are the requesters for the no wake zone. Our entire back property.
Wait a second. Is this Bridget's husband that I'm looking at right now?
Butts up to the slough, and I think we probably have the most linear property that's up to the slough. When the water is up really high, like it is right now, it just increases the damage the wakes cause, because typically the slough is still water and you don't have any motion of the water to cause damage to the property. So that we've had, and typically it only happens when the water is up. You get people in there, they go back and forth fast, and it damages our property. And so that was why we wanted to have a no wake zone, just so people can be held accountable for their, I guess, for lack of a better term, idiocy. Thank you. Thank you.
And here I was thinking like, oh, you know, he seems a little more level-headed, and then he threw in idiocy, and that's screaming Bridget.
So this was at a public councilman meeting last night that our neighbors went to and petitioned for a no wake zone to be put in. And it was passed. And that's okay. I'm not upset that it was passed.
It was passed?
Because again, we're not breaking the law.
No. I mean, I understand when the tide's very high. I understand that. I'm not trying to say I'm on her side, but we gotta be realistic here if that was our property. The water's really high, people are going, causing bigger waves, and that's gonna come up on there. I understand when the tide's high, so maybe there's more to it. Let me keep watching. Why am I jumping the gun?
We're not doing anything to cause wakes, so we're not concerned with that. But at the end where he said idiocy, the only idiocy that I see is putting poles with cables running across the waterway that when the river is high, you can hardly see. And just like he said at the parish councilman meeting, the only time you really see boaters in there is when the river is high. So, in my opinion, are we looking to hurt? Is there intent to hurt someone by putting these poles and this wire across? And let's face it, this is just another tool for them to harass us. The moment a boat goes in the water, they're going to call the sheriff saying that we're causing a wake, whether we are or not. This is just another tool. I think what we should be bringing to the agenda is the safety of our boaters and the safety of the people using the waterway when the river is high. Wake up, St. Tammany Parish.
I mean, that's pretty insane. I've actually never seen a picture of the tide that high with that fence. You can hardly see the fence. That could be so dangerous. All right, so this is river at a low. Okay, that, you can very much see the fence there. River starting to rise. River at 9 feet. River at 11 feet. Oh yeah, it's starting to go. There's the flower bed. That fence, man. The poles with wire across become hard to see. Look at that! I had to look for it. River is expected to come up another 1.5 feet. I really appreciate all the details that this woman has given us because I get a full vision of the property, everything we're talking about really keeps us in the loop here. All I was thinking about when you were filming those videos, like looking at their house, I'm like, she's probably in there watching you with your phone. She's just watching you create this TikTok content.
I have so much to
Tell
tell y'all. First, the river is expected to crest at 12.5 feet high. And currently, right now, it is at 9 feet. Let me show you. This is what it looks like at 9 feet today. So currently today is at 9 feet and it's scheduled to come up to 12.5 feet. So it should crest between the 14th and the 16th of this month. So we do have a couple more days to see that come up. And the river gauge hasn't been working properly, so it could even come up more. Now the bigger news. I'm gonna start with the news that I planned to tell y'all yesterday, just because I already had that news. I do have some new news that is probably a little bit premature for me to tell you, but I'm too excited and I'm still gonna tell you. So the neighbor drama stuff has been exhausting, to say the least, as you guys can expect, right? I started this TikTok to almost...
I feel like we're also exhausted and I'm just taking in this content. I'm not even involved.
Vent and ask opinions and things like that. And then it kind of blew up into other things, as we know. And I love all of the support, all of the help, everybody's suggestions. The support has been astronomical and I'm so thankful. And this entire time I've been thinking,
okay, we love you, but please tell us the big news.
And last but not least, here's the other news. The news station reached out.
What? What news station?
They want to do a call tomorrow at 11. So like I said, a little premature. I probably shouldn't have told you, but I was too excited. So definitely stay tuned because it's about to get real wild.
Your neighbor didn't like you telling this story on TikTok and you're about to go on live TV on the news and tell it. Oh my God, Bridget's gonna lose her fucking mind. She's gonna lose it. I'm so scared for you for what is to come. This is gonna be, it's gonna be a bloodbath.
I get a lot of questions as to why we wouldn't just launch our boat at the end of the fence or on the other side of our property. And it's because it's too steep over there. And a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you just dig over there? And there's a couple of reasons why. One, because like I said, it was too steep. Two, there's multiple trees. See this tree here? We would have to remove that tree and he's great, growing just fine. We'd also have to remove our fruit trees. And we'd have to come across here with the trucks and whatnot, which would kind of be hard to maneuver through. And because where we dug and pulled back the bank, it was already meant for a kind of sort of a boat launch prior to us moving in. So all we did was dig that area deeper, move our bank back to avoid that fence. Also, I'm not sure if I shared this story or not, but when the parish councilman was here that day, checking to make sure that we had the proper permitting to dig, he looked at us and said, why would you choose to dig there, knowing this was going to upset her? Why wouldn't you just dig on the other side of your property? You're just trying to cause more problems. Excuse me? Do I come to your house and tell you where to park your car? No. I really don't care what her thoughts and feelings are. This is my property. This is where I chose to dig. And this was not intended to those people who asked those questions. I'm just saying I couldn't believe the parish councilman said that. And this is why I truly believe she acts the way she does. It's because they pacify her to think that her behavior is okay. Anyhow, we're approaching a new year. Hopefully 2024 will be a little relief for us.
Oh my God, you guys. There's a whole other year of drama for this series. I thought we were reaching 2025. Not yet. What are you guys doing? Are you guys going to remove all those trees and dig on the other side just to please your neighbor that has absolutely made your life miserable? Or are you going to just extend back and put your boat where it was? What are you doing? Honestly, I'm genuinely asking.
Over the weekend or sometime recently, our neighbors put a new flower bed in. And I'm talking about the one right there.
Oh, that's what it looks like.
Now, normally I would not do a video on something they did that didn't have anything to do with me. But the only reason I'm doing a video is more of like a log. Because if you remember in the body cam footage, she said that she believed that since we dug this, we changed the flow of the water, yada, yada, yada. And now where's that water gonna go? But here's what I find interesting and why I'm even mentioning this new flower bed. If you notice, the two bamboos right there are smaller than the other bamboos. And they were all planted at the same time. And the reason they're smaller than the others is because the water typically comes all the way up to those, and those sit in water for a few days at a time. And so therefore, they seem to have not grown as well as the others. So the reason I bring all this up is because why would she come in and put a flower bed right there knowing the water comes all the way up past those two pieces of bamboo? Is it to try to say that I changed the flow of water? Well, I'm just here to say that I'm making this log and this video today so that we can't have this discussion later down the road. Now, I could be completely wrong and that might not have been her intentions, but at least I have it noted now so that if in the future that was her intentions, I can say, nope, look here, you planted this after the fact.
I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out. To see if that becomes a complaint later in this series, my mind is gonna be blown. This whole series is insane. I'm stressed for you.
Here's an update on our boat launch. So as you know, we dug out to make us our boat launch and make it a bit up. We basically pulled the bank back to allow for a bigger channel for us to be able to get in and out because of that fence. After we removed the dirt and spread it out throughout our property, we let it dry. So we spread it real thin and let it dry, and then we came back and are continually raking it. As you can see, it still has some raking that needs to be done so we can come back and add grass. Here's the bank that we pulled back. As you can see, it's made a wider channel there. Currently, this is what it looks like right now. The river has come up, so we're able to see it higher with water in it. As you can see right there, that's where we'll launch and go through all the way through there to get out.
Go around the fence.
Now we're gonna do a little bit more spreading, and then we'll come back and add grass seeds, probably ryegrass, so it'll grow throughout the winter and help with that mud and dirt. We have not currently used our boat launch just because, as you can see right there, where we would have to launch, it's pretty muddy and nasty still, so we don't want the trucks or anything to get stuck. But we do intend to have it done, hopefully sooner than later, but it just is a process, and we are working slowly but surely.
I really liked your beach idea. I still think it's not too late to put some sand there instead of grass and make yourselves a little private beach area and then invite all of us over. Cheers to that idea. Hope you're having a good day. I'm getting low, which is a good thing. I'll put my lip gloss on while we watch the next one because I know we're all antsy here waiting for these updates.
I would have said, if we don't be a nuisance, can we, when we want to, can we, and I would have said.
So this is a continuation of the body cam audio recording.
Yeah, you know what, I don't mind. What I don't want is, this is our peaceful little habitat, little haven.
Right.
We don't want your kids running around, okay? Are you not to go talk to them? And I'll tell you why. Because you not going over there is going to keep her in the dark, and that's going to bug her. And if that's the only satisfaction I get is she doesn't know what I said.
Like right now we can do that, and I would, look, I'll do whatever you want, but I think talking to you
Well, there's no sign out there saying they have a permit, and you have to put a permit in a sign. There's no sign saying they have a permit. Nobody came to us to tell us that, hey, they're going to be digging a canal by your property, but don't worry, they're not going to be that close to your property line.
Right.
That didn't happen. I didn't get a letter. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get anything. They've never told us. Then harasses us because she calls the sheriff office all
Hold
the time.
on.
I'm like,
Didn't she just say, don't go over and talk to her because I want her to be kept in the dark? And now you're saying nobody came to me and told me anything? Is that not very hypocritical? You want her to be in the dark, but you don't want to be left in the dark? I wonder why they didn't go and tell you.
I called the sheriff office because you keep doing stuff.
Awake.
They have this little pouch, like a one-stroke engine. I don't know. I'm not a boat person. We don't have evidence on them. I've got lots of evidence. I've never had the opportunity to show it.
Right.
You know, and so we took them to court, and that really kind of stopped things because they realized we're serious.
We're still living
You
our
know,
life.
and it was strapping them money-wise to do this. So they were like, well, they were like twice came back. Let's just drop both of them. And we thought about it because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to stop, but it's expensive.
Oh, I understand.
So I was like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. And I she can do whatever she wants, but what she's going to do, because I hate to say it for lack of a better word, she's an attention whore. That's what the whole TikTok. I can tell you right now, just you being here, she's going to pull your footage. She's going to pull the whole thing.
Well, she can't.
Okay.
An attention whore. Oh my God. Girl, I hope. Whoa. I was going to say something, and I'm not going to say it. Let's just keep watching. It's not nice.
No, I'm just letting you.
Okay, because
It's not going to stop her if she happens to see my unit videotaping my unit, but I can promise you this.
Okay.
She cannot get her hands on any footage. It's just not allowed.
Okay. I won't. For my emotional sanity, I won't watch
Understandable.
it. I had to see
I
a
agree with
couple.
you.
I had to see a couple. I had to see a couple.
Okay.
And she actually said, this is her word. And she was sitting there kind of sleazy with her breath falling out and just, you know, she just playing with her coke like this. And she goes, she has the audacity to take pictures of my kids. And so what she's doing, slandering me like I'm this horrible person. I'm like, because I videotaped your kids going back and forth playing.
Like, this is a bigger issue than a waterway and the wake and my property. You're calling her an attention whore. You're talking about her breasts being out, calling her sleazy. She's better than I am. I would have lost it.
Because I videotaped your kids driving a golf cart illegally. I have evidence. One person, I don't know, it was one of the recent ones, and it said, they think I'm with these bad people because what she said about us. She won't tell you the truth on anything.
So what we can do is.
I know people have bad neighbors. I know that. I've never had neighbors that were so blatant to endanger my life. Damn well know that water's not going to come up higher. They want destruction of our property because we take care of our property. We try to do it. I love doing it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And
Absolutely
they're jealous
beautiful.
of it. I know that. She's made comments. So, I mean, you know, they want to. Thank you. And thank you.
All right. If you need anything, give us a call, okay?
Thank you so much. And,
Why is this like a woman to woman issue? They're jealous of it. What is even going on? We're adults here. I thought we were just talking about the wake and the water line. Now we're getting real personal. Oh my God.
hopefully I can use you guys. I would love to be able to. I just feel like they're the type of people that, I mean, he literally said, right, I can do what I want. And he said, right?
Yeah. So the best thing that you do is
This woman, Boy Mom, has actually never said anything bad, personal. Like, she tells the story and what's happening, but she's never name called. She's always just explained what's going on. The lawsuit, the legal things, the water, like, man, why does this feel so much more personal than it needs to be?
They had the excavator.
We got more audio recording from the body cam.
They collapsed the dirt that they had dug and pushed up. They collapsed that. They took it. They scooped it. And when they were scooping it, the excavator thing was coming under our fence. He literally was going on our side too. But he went down all right at the fence. And he took all the dirt that's right on the fence line. And, well, those are no trespassing signs here. I don't know how clear it can be. And I'm thinking to myself, the Army Corps of Engineer gave you a...
Now she's saying the excavator stole her dirt on the fence line. Oh my God, it'll never stop. It'll never stop.
or private waterways. I'm thinking, I'm finding this now hard to believe.
Okay.
And I said, and I told the inspection guy when he was here, because I'm sorry if I'm going too fast.
No, you're not.
I'm just so stressed.
No.
I said to him, I said, well, if the Army Corps did technically give them a permit, I said, would they give them the right to dig right up to our fence, which is inside our property line? He's like, no, they wouldn't even give them the right to go right up to the property line. I'm like, oh, okay, well. I said, they trespassed. They took the dirt and they put the
Tearing up.
I don't know what else to do.
One off of 20 code for.
I mean, you can go civil to court, and that's expensive. We've tried that with them, and it's very, very expensive because they had
1 out of 30 traffic stop.
they've done this.
Oh, she's crying over this. This is a little much. Like, this is not worth crying over. We're getting angry about. Like, all of this is insane.
Bad things. Anyway, so
We've done bad things.
now that this has happened, I'm like, well, now this is criminal because I know if I want to walk over right now and take the shovel and scoop over there, I'm trespassing and I'm destroying property. Why am I on video destroying my property?
Okay, so show me this video again that you are
I
telling me
have
that
lots
you.
of videos of them digging here, but this is the one.
So here's my thing. Let me look at that and then we'll have a conversation. So let me look at
I'm
that.
sorry if I'm just being very. I'm trying to land that our posts are sitting in, so I don't know if we get a strong wind or if we get like high waters. Are we going to lose our fence? Is it going to fall over? I don't know what he did
I'm
because
listening.
I can't see it now because now the water's on it. Because it's like he said, the Army Corps of Engineers trumps the parish. Okay, that's what he basically said. He didn't use the exact word. Does not have the right to say you can dig right up to their fence. I don't think the Army Corps of Engineers would say you can dig right up to someone. You can dig on the property line. I'm sorry. I don't think that.
So here's my thing. So here's the thing.
Okay.
So when something is criminal, we have to prove intent.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if that's been explained to you.
This series gives me a headache. I think this woman is just grasping at anything at this point. At anything, any form of evidence, any claim, any criminal charge. They should pay for your therapy after this.
In that video, he's right up there.
Yeah.
But he hasn't trespassed against that fence. So there's no trespassing against the
And
fence.
trespass on the property line. Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's a potential that he is, but intent means he is out there and he's intentionally attempting to destroy your property. Because I can go talk to them and ask them what's going on.
No, they're gonna. I can tell you. You go talk to them. They're gonna say we did not do. They won't admit to what they did unless they saw that video.
I don't need to see the
can tell
video.
them
I was
that
out
see
there.
the video.
We're dealing with people that have harassed us from the moment they moved in.
We harassed her.
Went to court. And so we had my husband had asked them to please not use that water.
Okay.
And that made us enemy number one, because in her eyes, she's like, we can use that water, and I'm like, it's.
You said what you went to court for, but you didn't explain that.
Because slander. I guess I don't know, call it libel, endangerment of my life. God, I can't, without looking at all the things. Okay, so this is not.
So it was like
because our lawyer said, no, it's just a hearing. You don't bring all the guns. You don't bring.
Why
all the
wouldn't you bring your
It's just a
evidence?
hearing. You just bring what you need to prove for the injunction. But he sought an injunction to keep them away from us.
Okay, I was going to ask, like a restraining order type thing. Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yes.
that they couldn't come so far.
Yeah, they could.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Even this cop isn't following all of your claims. She's like, okay, but what about this whole thing makes this criminal? We're missing the point here.
I didn't have my daughters with us because I'm like, well, I don't need them there for witnesses because that's not what it was. Wasn't time.
Right.
So we didn't have that, and the judge, because they weren't there, he's like, well, he didn't. Not that he didn't believe us, but he didn't have like the protocol. I guess. And I'm thinking,
The
how do I
protocol.
not know this? I don't know. Anyway, so he couldn't enforce the injunction, but he basically said, if you continue with this and you pursue this and you come back, he goes, your chances are very good. And I, basically saying, need to press charges against the person who dug.
No, because the
I
person.
don't believe that for a second.
We have to speak to the person.
Okay.
And we don't.
know who that is
Because remember, criminal intent.
Yeah.
Is his intent criminal, or is he making a mistake in judgment?
that's what I'm telling you. they are nuisance neighbors.
So
He has
did
actually
those get
come, what we
things
did is,
done?
because, and then after, they filed a lawsuit just so they could say, we'll drop ours if you drop yours.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
And I'm like, and thousands of dollars later, I'm thinking, if, I know what the judge said. He basically said, if you go with this, you'll probably be victorious.
Oh, sorry guys. I hung up. Why are you still ringing?
But that's
That's
a
what
lot
the judge
of
told
money.
her.
It is.
It's a lot of money.
The judge
And
would
so
say something
I'm
like that.
And I just, and I'm a Christian, and I'm like, Lord, I really want to do this. I'm so tired of dealing with our neighbors, right? So I'm like,
I would love to bring that audio recording back to court to that judge and be like, so you said that?
really just want, So we agreed, but we agreed to drop it where, I can't remember the wording. It's either with prejudice or without prejudice. One of them means that we can open it back up.
Oh, gotcha.
So we
Okay.
dropped it with the stipulation, we will open this back up if necessary.
Is anyone else taking deep breaths over there to get through this? Because I'm getting so frustrated for these people. And it quite literally has zero effect on my life.
Remember how our neighbor said that we stole her dirt and filed a police report claiming that we took her dirt? And listen to this.
I want to show you some pictures because to explain it really quickly, our neighbors dug a channel in their property to get water. And I guess they said they got it from the Army Corps of Engineers because I had the parish out here, their investigators came out, and they said that she showed them a picture of the permit. And so they are actually requesting that they have the physical. And ever since they left, they've been hiding inside. So I think something is
Was that today?
Yes, this all today. They've been digging. They dug yesterday and the day before.
Okay.
Well, when they were digging, they destroyed our property. They dug up our property. And we had someone come and install a fence.
Where?
And they put that fence inside the property line.
Okay.
At least 8 inches. Could be a little bit more in some spots.
Wrong. There's the stake that they put out by the surveyors. The surveyors put out, and there's the way the fence starts.
They had the bucket, the excavator bucket, come right up to the post, and they dug.
Okay.
So they were on our property, they dug. I've got it, I want to show it to you.
32, 33.
We have about, I don't know, 25, 30 foot of fence. That's a lot of property they took. And as they dug it, they stole our property and they put it on their property.
Oh
So
my
basically,
gosh.
they just willfully destroyed our property, and then they used our property and put it on their property, because as they dug it, they...
What do you, when you say property, what are you speaking about?
Our backyard, our property.
So you're talking dirt?
Yes, dirt. Like all the dirt that they were digging.
Okay. So your complaint is that whoever was excavating or digging stuff up, dug up some of your dirt.
Yes.
Do you want your dirt back?
Guys, we can hear it in this officer's voice. She's trying to understand, why am I here? What police report am I making? Where's the crime?
Yes, I want it back, but I think...
But we have to show that.
Okay, let me show you. Come on, it was a little
Yes.
lighter.
I can't. I cannot. I can't. I do not have the patience today to deal with this. Do you want it back? Yes. We want our dirt back.
I got a job to do. I got a job to do.
They go in the back so she can show her where we allegedly stole her dirt.
Those trees were mostly on our property.
Okay.
So they took
But they were kind of sharing property, huh?
They're a little bit like that. Yeah, they're kind of sharing just a little bit, but they're joint trees. And so that tree's gone. I don't know where it is. This is gone. So anyway.
She's called the HOA. She's called past members of the HOA board. She's called almost every department at the parish: code enforcement, engineering, planning, development. She called the parish councilman. She claims we are devaluing her property. She says we stole her trees. She said we stole her dirt. She filed a police report, and it was announced at the HOA meeting that there was a report. Hold on, you're going too fast. And it was announced at the HOA meeting that there was a report of theft in our neighborhood. Theft being stolen dirt. She called the Army Corps of Engineers. We haven't been fined or received a ticket. She's been told we are not violating anything because we had proper permits. She cried tears because we went about this the wrong way. But the truth is, She is running out of ways to harass my family. The truth is, she put a fence with 2 dangerous cables running across in the river to block my family from using the waterway, and it didn't work. The truth is, misery loves company, but we did not accept the invitation. Words to live by. Look at that! I'm just so scared for the nonsense you're gonna have to continue to put up with.
My neighbor's having a meltdown because we found a solution to the fence she put in the water behind our homes to prevent my boys from fishing and using their boats and launching our boats. The blue lines represent where we always have launched our boat and where we will continue to launch our boat. The red line represents the fence she put in the water, and the yellow lines represent where we're gonna now dig to avoid the fence altogether. It's tough to see there, but the blue lines where we represent where we're going into the river, it's more low there than anywhere else on our property, and that's why we chose to always launch there. It was already made as a quote-unquote boat launch before we moved in. Now the problem where the fence comes in is that when the river is low, we're not able to get out because the water doesn't come up all the way to where we can launch and get in through where that yellow part is. But now that we've dug out and dug it deeper, the water's going to come in year round and be deep enough for us to continually launch our boat year round.
Oh.
This is why she's having a meltdown, because now she's not able to prevent us from getting to the main river.
Yep.
She's called every local official, every department she could possibly think of. She's been crying tears. She has a complete meltdown because we're digging our boat launch to avoid her fence that she put in the river to block my family from using it. The parish officials called a no fishing fence because that's basically what she's put it in there to do, to prevent my boys from fishing.
Can't we just both enjoy our beautiful properties and be friends and call it a day? It's been 3 years of this story. Started in 2020. We're at 2024.
What authorities did my neighbor call because we were digging our property? The HOA president, other residents of the neighborhood, the parish councilman, the sheriff, all departments of the parish, and lastly, the Army Corps of Engineers. At 8 a.m., the parish showed up to make sure that we had the proper permitting and or permission to dig. Did she really think that we were not going to have the proper permission to dig with such a large project after she called everybody under the sun because some twigs fell into what she believes to be her water? Come on. Of course we had permission. The Army Corps of Engineers gave us permission to dig. At around 8:30, another parish official showed up, wanting to make sure that we didn't bring any dirt or fill in because the neighbor had told them that we brought in dump trucks of dirt, which, again, completely untrue. We used our own land, we dug our own dirt, and used that to spread throughout our property. They asked her if she had proof of this or any pictures, but she wasn't able to provide any. However, she was able to say that we were digging her land and her dirt, and that we were trespassing and we hit her fence while digging. When I was leaving for lunch, this guy showed up. I'm not real sure what he or she was here for because they never came over to speak to me, but I'm sure I'll eventually hear about this as well. And last but not least, she's calling the Army Corps of Engineers to ask them why they gave us permission to dig her land. Good luck with that.
This is literally a full-time job. Between all the people showing up at your house to talk about this and to fix the legal issues, it's a full-time job. You gotta be at home 24 hours a day, apparently. Stay tuned for the next update. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and count your blessings that you're not dealing with this, because what the